Okay, first I'm say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai Bashim Gakdash. I'm your double honor to Apostle Elder and Teacher, great Milson of my language truth. And I say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm gonna center this on I'm probably gonna name the title True Power. And in the previous video I talked about how I mentioned false, Esau having his own form of a pseudo godhood, a watered down version of, what Yahweh Shemal Shai has, false power. The power that the so-called white man has isn't real. And what was that movie I was watching? No, it was a show. But pretty much it was a Japanese animation. Not gonna go into too much detail about it, but a lot of those have niggas with superhuman fucking abilities and shit like that. But there was a villain. There was this regular human guy. Nigga was a senator. He was an accomplished senator, and I'm trying to explain without going too much into detail because most of y'all ain't gonna know what it is. But this villain had told the senator to pretty much drive him somewhere, and senator wanted to buck up. He was going on about how he has all these accomplishments, and the guy has superhuman ability. So he pretty much beat his ass, and all that in the face of true power. Those little accomplishments, all that little shit didn't mean anything. But the reason why I mention that is because when you go into so-called white man society, he has power in a society that he created. With the loopholes that he knows about, all the in America, there's tricks to getting around the system or manipulating this system to your benefit. There's little tricks and loopholes that the so-called white man knows about, and how he can manipulate it. But in the face of true power, all of that doesn't mean shit. And I'm going to read this, but I'm going to second Esdras because it talks about how Yahweh Shai, when he comes back, I'm just going to read it. This is Isaiah 40 and 20. 22, it is 21. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told to you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and that spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in, that bringeth the princes to nothing, he maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. What's that other one? But Yahweh Shemal Shai is the one who has control over all of creation. That has the ability to expand the universe or to take, to diminish it or to take from it. Which, when you go into when Yahweh Shai use telekinesis, manipulating reality, that takes a completely different type of understanding and power that humans, quite frankly, on this earth will never, Esau will never fucking achieve. He leans on this technology, but all of his accomplishments in the face of, actual real power means nothing. And once again, when you read that, how can you fathom that? And you got a lot of Jake that buck up against the prophets, but this is the type of power, well, obviously not, obviously Lord isn't going to, reveal all of his secrets to us, but that's the type of power that he's going to give to his people. The scripture says they shall run like sparks among the stubble. Like super speed. They shall mount up as eagles, being able to fly. Like that's not, how do you comprehend that shit? But that's the power that the Lord Yahweh Shemal Shai is going to give to his men, and ultimately to his people as a whole when we're back in the kingdom. But in the face of that, this little shit, these cars, these tanks, because it may seem like a big thing to us now because we're vulnerable to it. There's a scripture that talk about how They shit. This is Jude 1:6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, which is talking about us. You know? Kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. And that's talking about us, how we lost our power. You know, we lost the first state that we were in, Garden of Eden. We fucked up and we lost our power. And the chains of darkness are, you know, time and time again, you've heard it. It's these bodies. They, you know, they restrict us. They hold us down. They, you know, they restrain us. But in the, like, we, you know, we had our power, and the reason why I got that why is because these things now look intimidating. Like Esau's technology may look intimidating. Why? Because we're vulnerable to it. But it said what? Their first estate. What was our first estate? It's God's. We inherently are not supposed to, like the bodies that you see now, like, they're not, this isn't it. You know, this isn't permanent. This is temporary. Our inherent position is at the top. You know, complete power and domination. And, you know, I find it very interesting how he, you know, how the so-called white man, how, you know, how he has so much pride. But even though, you know, he has so much pride, but simply falling down the stairs, you know, with all of his money and his know-how and whatnot, but simply falling down the stairs, or even fucking, let's say a lion ran throughout the city, all of that shit, you know, all of your accomplishments mean shit in the face of a lion tearing your damn throat out. You know, all this paperwork, all, you know, this know-how, you get these corporations, you know, what's that nigga Elon Musk? When America goes down, you think people are going to care about, you know, what accomplishments Elon Musk made? It does, like, just Solomon said himself, it's vanity. It's all empty, pointless shit in the face of actual power. You know, the power to manipulate reality, to do whatever the fuck you want, like that nigga Homelander said. And that's another thing, like that, even though that nigga, that's really Esau. No, that nigga Homelander is really just a representation of Esau, because Homelander is a big fucking kid, just, you know, going around just smashing everything and breaking every fucking thing. But something he said was how he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And, you know, pretty much, like, none of it does, like, and he's basically like, there's a show called The Boys. He's basically like a spin-off type of Superman. He's not Superman, but like, the nigga's basically a fucking Superman in that universe, you know? But this nigga, like, all of, you know, your accomplishments, all of that shit don't mean shit to a nigga, you know, to somebody with actual power. You know, that's why you have scriptures that's going into pride. You know why are you lifted? You know, why are you so prideful? You know, thy pomp shall be brought down to the ground. Hell, a heart. You know, a heart attack can take your ass out, and all these accomplishments, they mean shit in the grand scheme of things. You know, all these Instagram hoes, all these you know, these workout gym niggas that you see on YouTube and shit. What's this, a retard in a limousine? You know, a fucking limousine. All that doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. The scriptures refer to the inhabitants of the earth as grasshoppers, insects, mundane. And these scriptures talk about how the majority of the people were born in vain anyway. Pointless. The only reason any of this shit matters is because we're in a society that's fabricated in which these things have to matter. The second Esdras 13 and 5. And this is going into World War. This whole thing, right? This little passage is going into World War III, when all of these armies, world armies, they're going to be fighting each other. The Middle East, that's where it's going to start. They're going to be fighting each other, and Yahushua is going to crack the skies. And what's that? I forgot. I don't think it was Ronald Reagan, but it was some president before the 2000s that mentioned an extraterrestrial enemy in which the world will have to come together to combat it. This is that. And after the 2 Esdras 13 and 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. You're talking about from outer space. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it, which is a chariot. It wasn't an actual literal mountain. They described things to the best of their ability with the terminology that they had available to them. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it was so huge. You couldn't see where it started or where it ended. And after this I beheld, and lo, they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude as it had that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast out sparks and tempests. Which isn't literal, essentially Yahushua. And that's another thing. He's so powerful, he doesn't need to physically get his hands dirty. All he had to do was give the order, and what happened? Damn it, I'm gonna play that. I fucking love that video. Now I'm just gonna skip to the part, and I'll say this quite a bit, but in my personal opinion, like this ain't even close to picture, but just to give you like a little bit of an image. But in my personal opinion, when it comes to like displaying superpowers and whatnot, Japanese animations, them niggas do it fucking best. But I'm just gonna, and this is like based on like heathen type of thing, but this is something that just comes to mind as a just as a depiction of Yahushua blasting these niggas, blasting everybody down.
決着がついたようだな。藤丸律か。ならばこの一撃をもって決別の儀としよう。原始を悟る。天地は分かれ無は開闢をとどめる。世界を裂くは我が大力。星々を回す。天上の地獄とは創世前夜の終着よ。死をもって静まるがいい。エヌマエリス。
No, yeah, like I said, I personally believe Japanese niggas do it fucking best when it comes to depicting spiritual power. But just to give you like something of a visual image of what, and like you saw blast of fire and wind turning the monster into dust. And that's the same shit that's going to happen to people. Once again, this whole society, Yahweh Shema Shai, Yahushua is going to level all of this shit. It doesn't fucking, none of this shit ultimately matters. That's why, you got brothers that talk about, not to let this place get to you. Obviously, we get upset, because it's fucking irritating. It's vexing. Not to, think, because like what we're messengers of Yahweh Shema Shai. We're not just ordinary, regular, the head of the camp mentioned that quite a bit. a couple years ago, how we're not regular men. You know, those of us who believe in the Lord, you know, who sincerely believe in the Lord, aren't regular people. We're not like these NPCs, non-player characters. Lord willing, you know. You know, you're gonna have certain men who are given spiritual power, actual, you know, to fuck shit up and to beat niggas with their own spines during Jacob's trouble, and ultimately, you know, we're gonna get, you know, the full extent of that in the kingdom. But and they were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest fell with violence upon the multitude, which is prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon the sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust, the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And once again, Yahweh, all of that shit means nothing. Yahweh is gonna turn all this shit into fucking dust. You know, these senators and all your accomplishments, and hell, even when you, like, even now, like, unless you're going for like an in-demand, like you're engineering, something involving technology, the majority of these degrees and these accomplishments don't mean shit even now in the functioning society. You know? But afterward I saw a man come down from a mountain and call unto him another peaceful multitude, which is the 1/3 and the elect. But that, let me see if there's anything else I want to get. But you know, that was pretty much it. You know what? Sparks among us. But you know, we're gonna be giving back our 1 Corinthians, first or second. I think it's first 15:52. In the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall raise incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For its corruptible must put on incorruption, and its mortal must put on immortality. And it says changed. So when its corruptible shall put on corruption, and its mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahweh Mashiach. Therefore, my brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And you know, like what we do, you know, isn't in vain. You know, there's going to be a reward. You know, there's something to work towards. But just going back to the point of how we're once again going to be changed. You know, like the head of our camp mentioned how if we as we are were to step foot in the kingdom, we would drop dead because our bodies are so used to impurity and uncleanness being, you know, the air, the water, the food. It's so used to uncleanness, you know, getting, you know, similar thing with how you take a freshwater fish and you put it in the salt water, it'll die, you know, and vice versa, because it's used to that environment. We'll drop dead because we're not used to actual cleanliness. Ain't that a bitch? But yeah, like, just going back to, because I saw that, like, the dude was mouthing off about his accomplishments and whatnot, and the villain took out his 2 front teeth and then broke his fucking nose, and then the nigga couldn't do anything. He, you know, he was in pure terror and fear. He couldn't fight back. Nigga was out of shape. And, you know, same thing with America. You know, all these people, you put them in the woods with the bear, they're dead. All that shit. When these niggas, you know, when these rappers, all these celebrities and whatnot, and these niggas be getting fucking killed, when they're taking their last breaths, you think they're thinking about all their accomplishments and what they've done? No, they're thinking about how none of that shit means anything to them. They just want to live. And I think what's the nigga? I think it's Steve Jobs, or the nigga who made up Apple, or one of them, you know, tech niggas. If I remember correctly, the nigga died of fucking like cancer or some shit. Let me look that up really quick. But yeah, it was him. But you know, I think he had pancreatic cancer. But with all of his money and all of his wealth, it didn't mean shit. In the fate, you know, all he wanted, you know, he would have traded all that shit, because he would have traded all of that money if he could live. None of that means shit. Same thing with, you know, once again, just the point of the video. None of this shit means anything in the actual face of true power. And the so-called white man doesn't have that. He has false power. He created a society in which he's at the top. But what was that fine? Say all praises, glory, and honor, how about Shema Shah, Bashim Kakadash, the Ron so Pascal and teacher at Mills, probably true. And niggas, you know, they carry around guns, they think they're tough. This is where true power is. You know, they want to be strong and tough and powerful and shit. Nothing wrong with self-defense. But niggas, you know, they rely on that and they think that's their strength, which isn't true. You got tons of